Give out team grades for the 2023 season. This part will be the SEC. Let's first talk about Auburn. Last year they went 5-7, and this year they went 6-6. So a 1-win improvement. But this is year 1 under Hugh Freeze. And honestly, a lot of people maybe thought they would have done worse. So because they made a bowl game and were feisty in many games like the Alabama game, I gave them a B-. Nextly, we got Kentucky. No hate to UKP, but Kentucky was just pretty average this year. Beating the teams they should beat and losing to the teams they should lose to. I do think next year they'll have a lot of promise, but for this year, they were pretty average and they get a C+. Nextly, we got Texas A&M, and this was a pretty average year once again under Jimbo Fisher. I actually personally thought that there was some life shown during this year. Some games that they were in close that maybe they shouldn't have been. Ultimately, Jimbo got fired. We'll see later on if that's a good or bad move. Mike Elko from Duke will be stepping in this next year, and I do think he's a very good coach, but he is from the Jimbo tree. But for this year, they were pretty average, so I gave them a C. Nextly, we got Tennessee. They might have been the most overrated team this year, and especially at the end. Win the bowl game and people think they should potentially be top 15, which is just honestly laughable when they don't have any better resume than a West Virginia. But Milton was honestly such a disappointment. Just didn't live up to the hype that we thought he would, which maybe was unrealistic on our part. But they went 11-2 last year, so I gotta give them a C- for this year. Next, we got LSU. I do think this team was a little overhated. This team did beat Missouri, but yes, they did lose to Florida State, Alabama, and Ole Miss. All top 10 teams. They had a prolific offense, but a pretty terrible defense. Last year, they made it to the SEC championship game, so it wasn't that great of a season, but I gave them a solid B-.